Cubs lose the ball game today, 3-1 to the Miami Marlins. Yes, you heard it. The Cubs lost to the Miami Marlins. It's a damn joke that we didn't get the sweep. Anytime this pathetic ass organization, you know, can only give up one run against one of the premier offenses in all of baseball, absolutely pathetic on the Cubs end. I have a lot of issues with this game, and let's just go ahead and dive into it and just rip the Band-Aid off at this point. With that being said, welcome back to another episode of the Cubby Perspective. My name's Andrew, and I'm a podcast for the fans and by the fans. Let's start this episode off by talking about our third baseman. Actually, our three third basemen in this league who are doing so well for us. Right? Let's just start off by doing that. Number one on the chopping block, Jon Berti. Come on down, Jon Berti. Let's go at it. Let's talk about Jon Berti's performance in the last, 10 games or so. 1 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 2, 1 for 3, 0 for 2, 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 3, 0 for 3. Yep, and this guy's getting at bats. This guy continues to be in the lineup day in and day out. You gotta love it. Let's look at his season stats, right? Let's look at what this bum is doing. 10 runs. Wow, that sucks. 0 homers. Wow, that sucks even more. 2 RBIs. Holy shit, I didn't think it could get more pathetic. 7 stolen bases. I don't care. I don't care about that. 7 isn't too bad up to this point, but still, you suck. And 4 walks. Wow, good for you, man. 230 batting average with a 290 on base percentage. Love the production out of third base, Craig. Love the production out of third baseman, Jed. But let's keep it going. Next man up. Bruján, come on down, baby. All right, Bruján absolutely sucks and is a absolute waste of a roster spot. I mean, this guy's not even freaking worth mentioning. That's how pathetically bad he is. He hasn't even had that many plate appearances because how actually bad he is. So at least Craig Counsell's, not wasting at bats on this guy at least, So that's, I guess, a plus in some sort of sense. But let's move on to the next guy, huh? Last but not least, Nicky Lopez. Wow, do I want to, jump through the damn TV and just yell at you. Let me tell you that. 1 for 20 in his 20 at-bats, in Chicago as our third baseman. Wow, that's lovely. 2 runs, 0 homers, 1 RBI, 0 stolen bases, 4 walks, a .05 batting average, and a .208 on base percentage. Now, this is a team that Craig Counsell, Jed Hoyer, Tom Ricketts, Carter Hawkins, Jason McLeod, and everyone else in upper management expected us Cubs fans, right, to be, oh yeah, this is a serious contending team because we signed Kyle Tucker. Yeah, screw you. How about that? Screw you. You don't do anything for the bullpen. You don't do anything for our third base. You don't do anything for second base. Yeah, I'm saying it. Nico Hoerner sucks. Argue with me in the comments. I'll fight through thick and blood with that statement. Let me tell you that. Dansby Swanson, I still don't like you, even though you've been better. But I will say something. I think, you may have found your spot in the lineup, but Craig Counsell bumping you up to number 1 when you've been so good. What an idiot. Who the hell would think of doing that? Yeah, you know what? We're talking about Craig Counsell next. I'm actually not done talking about our third baseman. We have Matt Shaw in the minor league systems in AAA who's roping the ball, right? He's completely tearing the ball off of the cover, right? And you wanna keep him down in the minor league system for what? What? What do you want to keep this guy in the minor league system for? He's doing phenomenal down there, and you're gonna waste that bats on Bruján, Nicky Lopez, and Jon Berti? Get a life, Craig, you freaking moron. Craig Counsell, all right, your time is up, buddy. Come on down to the stage. You want to tell me that you call up Moises Ballesteros to not play him? I don't understand. Why would you call up one of our top prospects just to sit him on the bench? Are you kidding me? And who did we give his at bats to? Justin Turner? Are you like, what? I don't give a shit that Justin Turner hit a double. What was that, his first hit of the damn season? And then not only are you going to sit by his steros, you're going to completely toy with this lineup where PCA had a beautiful game at the leadoff spot. Hey, look, you give him confidence. Hey, PCA, we like what you're doing so much. We're going to bump you up to the number one hole, right? You're going to have a good game just to bump you back down for a who? Dansby Swanson? You got to love it. You really got to love that thought process. This is a manager who's getting $40 million over the course of the next 5 seasons. Yeah, go fuck yourself. What did Dansby Swanson do today? 0 for 4? Yeah. In the number one spot. So not only are you going to kill Dansby Swanson's confidence now, you're gonna So not only did you kill Dansby Swanson's confidence, right? You may have just messed up PCAs. Yep. You are something else. You know that? Our only run today came off of a Seiya Suzuki homer, but that doesn't mean that Seiya Suzuki actually had a good game. As a matter of fact, he had a miserable game. He had 3 or 2 terrible, I can't even speak the words on those at bats, terrible strikeouts. Seiya Suzuki is not seeing the ball well whatsoever at this point, and his strikeouts are becoming a massive issue. A massive issue. And then Kyle Tucker, where did Kyle Tucker go? I don't know. Where did King Tuck go? I really wish that player would come back. Would be nice, but hey, who knows? Everything that comes to Chicago turns to shit, anyways, right? Good job, Nico Hoerner, for your OPS being dipped well below the average marks, right? OPS sitting at 650 on the season. Wow, I didn't think it could get that low. But here we are, 100 points below league average, and people still are defending you. That's kind of funny, in my opinion. But let's talk about a comment that Ryan Dempster made in one of the later innings of the game that I overheard him talking. Ryan Dempster said, and I quote, Nico Hoerner is the perfect batter to be up in this situation with bases loaded and 2 outs. How did that work out for you, Ryan Dempster? What, are you feeding us lies here? Because everyone knew exactly what was going to happen. Everyone knew Nico Hoerner was going to either strike out or ground out to the shortstop like he always does. So no, maybe Nico Hoerner wasn't the perfect man for that situation. But I already knew the outcome to that at bat because the offense has been absolutely terrible, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon, unfortunately, in my opinion. So yeah, but now let's talk about Jameson Taillon, right? Jameson Taillon with the quality start today. 7 strikeouts, pretty good game on paper. On paper, pretty good game. Got the quality start, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, only 3 earned, so a 4.5 ERA. Not bad. But what's up with all the long balls in the past 2 starts, JMO? You've given up 7 homers or 8 homers in the last 2 starts you played. I don't care you get the quality start. What a miserable freaking outing by you. 8 homers in the last 2 starts, huh? Huh? Okay. That's lovely. And I don't care if I'm being a Debbie Downer now. The Cubs have been playing like dog shit for quite some time now. And quite frankly, I don't even know how we're still in first place. This team has so many damn holes, it's unbelievable. The only positive that I'm going to talk about is not coming from this game, but a stat that a buddy of mine sent me, and it's actually pretty insane. Pete Crow Armstrong's fielding run value ranks 25th among Major League outfielders since the start of the 2018 season. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pete Crow Armstrong was a sophomore in high school in 2018. And since 2018, he ranks 25th in and best defensive outfielders in baseball. That's pretty remarkable considering he's only been on the Cubs since 24, maybe a very late and nothing stint in 23. So PCA is definitely something else. I want to see more consistency out of PCA, but that's just going to come with age, and I really feel as that PCA is going to be leading this team for many years to come. But yeah, I'm not happy with this series. I'm not happy with this series. The fact that the Cubs should have easily have lost this series to Miami. Who knows? Maybe we'll lose this series to the Chicago White Sox. Wouldn't that be funny? I'm going to 2 out of 3 of those games, and quite frankly, I probably regret spending the money. I'll be honest. Yeah, the Cubs have been a massive disappointment, and something's got to change, and I think it's got to change with Craig Counsell. I think Craig Counsell is a total airhead. He's a total buffoon. David Ross should have never been fired for this guy. At least David Ross had ties to the 26 team and was a real true leader, and the players loved him to death. Craig Counsell is just an absolute moron. I don't care. He is. He is, and the Cubs aren't going to do jack shit with Craig Counsell. You saw what Craig Counsell did with Milwaukee for 9 seasons. Jack shit. And don't even say division titles and postseason appearances because only losers count that. Winners only count, World Series victories, and that's what you should be graded off of a head coach, right, or a manager in baseball. You shouldn't be, oh yeah, well, I brought my team to 7 division titles in 9 seasons. Yeah, you're a loser. You're a loser. With that being said, always keep the faith, go Cubs, and I am the Cubby Perspective.